one of these players is going to be playing a blitz game.
Yes, that's
Although
true.
every time that I commentate Matt O'Connor, I have to say I always I really hype him up. I'm like, oh, this guy is like a jet speed,
Well, he
and then
is.
he always just plays really slow
Yeah.
every time I hype him up. But I think this time we're going to see some vintage Matt O'Connor hyperspeed action, and Geoff is yeah, as Conrad mentioned, a highly seasoned top expert, but a little more methodical. And so one
Yep.
of the big dynamics of this game is going to be can Matt get ahead on the clock and
Yeah.
use it for leverage?
Yeah.
Or can Geoff find ways to not burn too much time in early moves and save time for when he really needs it?
Yeah. Because Matt relies pretty heavily on the way that he plays the game, and it can be harder when he's losing to get the kind of closed board shape that he likes. Geoff is a master at kind of keeping the board open and coming up with clever things, and definitely has a word knowledge advantage on Matt for any strategic simplicity that Matt has to his simplicity in a positive way that Matt has to his game. Geoff was the runner up in 2006 at the United States Scrabble Open in Phoenix. I don't know. Was he also runner up in 2010? I don't know.
I thought it was just the one. I remember he came second to.
Jim Cramer.
Yes, that's right. That was a great
The Crary.
final. One of the great gentlemen of the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. So Nitz is 3-0 plus 601 in the light division. Dang.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a little early to be looking at the standings.
Yeah.
We'll definitely bring more and more of that context in and later into the tournament, but in the early going, people are just trying to find their groove, settling in. Usually in a tournament, we'll get a mixture of opponents from uh usually you get drawn into a quadrant, so you get some high rated opponents, some low rated opponents, and just kind of trying to sift everyone out so that the Swiss pairing system can kick in and you're matched with evenly ranked opponents. But this is a high quality early matchup. I thought Jeopard was going to come down.
I thought he had drawn it, but no, not quite. I also think for someone like, Geoff, who's a more methodical player, there's something nice to be said about going first against someone like Matt. Like, you kind of get to set the tempo. You get to look at Matt hasn't already put down a play and like hit his clock before you've even looked at like one letter. There's something just nice about that, I think.
I've absolutely have had Matt O'Connor play a bingo on me within 13 seconds of clock.
Yeah.
I've also had him burn a blank on the opener as for a non-bingo within 35 seconds. So he is a speed demon. He's also Matt is also as far as I'm aware, a poker player also on the side.
Is that just his real? I mean, is that his main?
That may be a source of
his
his
main gig.
Yeah.
Chat could definitely tell us again.
Not uncommon in the Scrabble world. It's surprising there's as much overlap as there is, but I think that poker and Scrabble are both games of risk management, and I think that informs some of Matthew's approach and strategic decision making and makes him really efficient in situations where other players might have to think really deeply about what to do.
By the way, Geoff has kind of an older style of playing, so it makes it even easier for the stream crew. He actually plays upside down. There are not that many players around still who play the whole game upside down. Geoff will pretty much never turn the board to face himself. So we can just leave the board like this the whole rest of the game.
That is a great observation. Yeah, it's spinny boards, one of those technological innovations.
Yep.
And yeah, in the old times, actually, even in the Spanish-speaking world, they play on non-spinning boards and they sit sideways. They sit perpendicular to each other.
Yeah, and interestingly, Scrabble player from Portland, Oregon area where I am, Travis Cheney, who's actually played in the Spanish. He's actually one of the other few remaining players who plays upside down. And he's mentioned how much he speaks Spanish fluently. He's played in the Spanish World Championships before, and the sideways thing, they insist on it. And he just won't. It's just too much. And I get that. It would be I'd be sore by the end of the day, honestly.
Right. I wonder if that leads to a uh, swift business for chiropractors
Yeah.
nearby the
Yeah.
championships.
Yeah. Interesting opening play from Geoff. I don't know. Playing off the R,
Right.
a little
Actually,
defensive. I don't know.
Geoff played off the R, keeping ADO. I usually prefer a balance. We already talked about my love of R's last game, so I personally would have done whatever. I think Jap would have accomplished a similar thing,
Yeah.
but I think the reason he didn't do that is because of the Jape hook and giving away cheap points, turning Jap into Jape.
Yeah. But he also
And
gets the snap, like the hook back himself. Like it's all gonna come out in the wash this early, right?
right, I would have done. I definitely would have done Jap.
Yeah.
Usually in the beginning, in the early stages of the game, for me, it's really about just getting the bingo down as fast as possible, and keeping the R clearly helps the ADO.
Yeah.
But yeah, you mentioned Jeff having a bit of an more old school style. I think of Jeff maybe being on the tail end of the generation of maybe the Edley generation of a very defensive minded
Yeah.
scrabblers who really um I th- I think that generation really hesitates to set up scoring spots if they can
Yeah.
avoid it. And then the next generation that came was like the opposite, the bingo prone
Except for
quackle
one
generation.
person.
Yeah, Conrad fucking there was kind of
Yeah.
this extreme swing in North America from very defensive play to just this really bingo driven
Yeah.
shootout style, and
Yeah.
maybe things of equilibrium. I think
I think people
Josh
like
Sokol
Josh, yeah. Yeah.
is a really nice
Yeah.
happy medium
Yeah.
there.
By the way, we should the game is getting a bit interesting here. So Matthew played Figs and Jarps setting up his X. Chat wonders maybe you'd play GIFs or GIFs if you are so inclined, as a less obvious setup.
But it's going to work out for him because Ye goes down.
Seems like it's gonna work out. There's it's uh Jarps and Figs is like it's a believable enough play that it doesn't have to be a setup.
It doesn't look great though, and Jeff did have Ye and FY there to
Yeah.
immediately block. So I'm
Yeah.
actually really surprised that stayed open, and he's going to play the cop. He's going to pay the price for that almost
Yeah.
immediately.
And I want to like you mention like Jeff just he doesn't play that much. So, he's kind of getting back into tournament mode today. And so I kind of as, someone in a similar situation, like I get it. It can be hard to just like immediately start playing his literal best.
You saw the knowing nod there of, oh yeah, that probably would make sense
Yeah.
in hindsight. So yeah, I think especially that first session of a tournament, it can take a while to
Yeah.
get back in the zone. And
Yeah. I do want to note, like, I don't actually think the Fig setup was worth it. He could have just played Fox.
that's right. I think yeah, that's right. So you could have played Fox keeping GIST, good bingo prospects, especially
Yeah.
if you draw an end.
Yeah.
Fox would have been 33.
Yeah. So yeah.
I think Matthew kind of likes these sorts of unorthodox plays almost for the
But this was
he
not.
likes to surprise. He's made some pretty crazy plays
Yeah.
on stream when I've commentated him before, and
Yeah.
I would have to wonder if that plays into it a little bit, although I'm sure he would also deny it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I do think that this will cost. I mean, he did get the setup down, but like I do think it's costing him overall.
Right. He's now ended up with actually a pretty tight board with no S hook and no real bingo spot. It's almost conducive to a bit of a bunker type board setup, but
Which he likes.
Yeah. So maybe that was kind of a stylistic
Maybe.
decision. I don't know.
But regardless, I think he's, kind of lucky that Jeff didn't play Yay and FY because that seemed pretty clearly like the right option there. But again, it's early days. Jeff is able to kind of work through some of the dreck that he had there.
Right. Jeff has a bingo in his rack lineup. Odonate
Nice.
gonna come down. Yeah, Matt, this is not an ideal spot. His rack doesn't having all one pointers, his rack doesn't score a whole lot unless he can bingo, and the board has gotten very tight here.
Yeah.
I wonder if he might do something like turtle and jape. It's not
Maybe.
super desirable, but it does score 25 points and
Yeah.
starts the chase for the blank here, which would be a huge differentiator, especially on these type boards. Having a blank is such a massive deal.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
as someone who's played these sorts of closed boards for so many years, like as a closed board player, I don't like. To me, this is a mess. I don't want to. I don't ever want to be in this position. Up 12 with a bunch of 7 1-pointers on a board that could open at any moment. This is how I want to close board halfway through the game. A real closed board, you don't want to close the board from the beginning because there's too many outcomes that could happen. And so I think Matt has to be willing to be flexible here, to your point, and like play off some letters. You gotta do it. There's no other option, honestly.
It's a super interesting comment. So what changes later in the game? Is it just that you have time to hoard some good letters, or you know more about what your opponent has, or what
It's
do you think it
just
changes?
more of the board real estate's been used up.
Hmm.
There's just you kind of have a sense of where the shape can even logically go. Like you just don't know. Is it the bottom left that's going to open? The bottom right could open. The top right could open. It's really only the top left that's kind of closed right now. Um, to me, I think that's the biggest thing. Is later on there's only so much like real estate that can happen, and I guess unsurprisingly,
Odinate comes down.
yeah,
It's important to note that Jeff was able to get the japed hook. We were talking
yeah,
earlier about jap to jape to japed
yeah,
with the D, and that is exactly what happens, just perpendicular to where we originally thought.
yeah, and
And getting Odinate down there is a big deal. It's a lot of points, and it doesn't open much.
especially when you look at what Matt drew after Eternal.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
If you can draw insert blank, you can play whatever you want, really. But I do appreciate his willingness to kind of blow up the rack, get some points forward.
That's right. Immediately rewarded for. I mean, it won't happen every time.
Right.
Sometimes you open things up and you draw all the U's or something like that. But yeah, rewarded with the first blank for the play of Turtle, not trying to slog through his 1-pointers, but going for that blank and getting it.
Yeah.
And as we mentioned, this is one of those cases where the best players find a way to get the most
Yeah.
out of these racks with plays like Diastem, which was a pretty
That
magnificent
was
play
cool.
we saw last game.
Yeah. So if you're Matt here, is it just a that's a B. For me, it looked like
Oh,
an S.
I
Sorry,
thought that was an S as well. Yeah,
yeah,
my bad.
maybe he put the letter back in the bag. I don't know. And as
Hmm.
Backswest points out, he's truly slowed down on stream for us anyway, so we really have no excuse. Well, okay, now he has a lot fewer options. Has options, but fewer
Right.
than if it was an S.
The bingo remains inevitable.
Yeah.
On Jeff's side, he's going to have an interesting uh, response depending on what goes down. Actually, the K is going to be a really nice scoring tile.
Yeah.
I was going to say you might have to think about something like oat cake through the T.
Oh, that would
but
be that would make Matt's head explode.
it'd be a pretty wild play.
Yeah.
I like those kinds of plays.
Yeah. I've become more comfortable with them in my old age. Well, in this case, it's actually perfect. This works out perfectly for Jeff. He's got all sorts of stuff through that R, whether it's dumping tiles with Korai or taking points with like Kark. I think you're probably gonna sacrifice some points for the balanced leave, but I believe 72 was the max that Matt could score there. So
Doesn't waste too much shine there. I mean,
yeah,
um, Arc there, I know it keeps AEIO, but 45 points, that's a lot. I mean, Korai, 12 points. 12 points. Probably keep the
15.
let's see, Kark 45, Korai KORAI. Yeah, that's a 15-point
Yeah.
difference. So
It's close.
AEIO is other than the mean value of drawing the U, pretty grim.
Yeah. Jeff has cake spelled out. I assume he's gonna eventually try something else. Yeah. So he has core eye spelled out. I'm gonna sim it just for
Yeah, this seems
money
like
of my own
a
interest.
spot that
Yeah.
a sim would do quite well on.
Yep.
Do we know if the blank was a D or an S? Let's try to
Oh yeah,
hear
it
in.
probably assume it was a
I would think it would be a D, but you never know.
well Matthew tends to draw like a solid dot over the letter, and it looks like the S has that. So I'm gonna assume it was probably an S.
Oh, interesting.
And
Okay.
Kate confirms it was in fact an S.
Very interesting. That's not necessarily what I would have expected.
Yeah, I mean it's if you're not 100% sure, I don't know.
Hmm.
Cork in the sim as well, but I'm just assuming. Yeah, it's pretty neck and neck for our sim. It's actually Cork is simming slightly better than Kark, keeping 2 A's, which I guess better for dumps next turn. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun one. I think sometimes it's these questions of heuristics versus what's actually better. One of our heuristics is you don't want to keep doubles if you can
Yeah.
avoid it.
Yeah.
So that's why we were thinking something like Kark to keep AEIO. But the O there is really bad. Like AAEI actually might be more bingo-y than AEIO.
Yeah.
Or having the double A is actually not a bad combo I've learned over time.
Yeah.
I think Korai is a little bit less boom or bust, and I can see it's kind of the more human play. I could say Nigel Richards playing Kark there.
Yeah.
And or Cork and surprising us all.
Yeah. I would definitely
Not a mistake.
I would definitely consider it because I tend to be more shareholder capitalism points now over points later. Which is probably to my detriment. So don't take what I say as a good idea.
Wow, I didn't know we were going to talk about the bourgeoisie in this turn.
Who knew? Who knew? Hey, we have 2.5 days to get through. We gotta come up with some interesting stuff. Speaking of interesting stuff,
What about Venezuela? No, sorry. Let's keep going.
yeah, I will say I work with a product manager who is actually, I think she was home in Caracas,
Oh God.
and she's been there. So she's her internet works. So I'm looking forward actually just to hearing from her how it's been. But that's completely apropos of nothing related to this at all.
Hopefully, the noise canceling is good on the stand-up updates.
Yeah. Oh yeah, tribuned isn't a word. It's turbined, right?
Isn't it both?
Turbined under bit.
Am I wrong?
I think.
Oh
Now
God.
that I go on autopilot when we're talking, but
Oh God. Yeah, I guess it's hard to talk.
it's turbinal and tribunal are both good.
Yeah, that is what I was going
Yeah.
for. Goodness, time to hit the books again.
Yeah. But what do you do if you're a Matt here? It's a weird situation. The board is, I guess, what he wants. The game's basically even. It's not really. It's just his main thing it's got going is the ing. Perhaps not really many good ing lanes. I don't know. I'm open to options here.
Well, you really want a DE to be in space so you could play Eigen mode. That's what I would want. But that aside, I
Have a
think you
lot of
just
value.
yeah, I think you just keep it tight, and he can stick the M and make Ama,
Yeah.
and I think you just want to leave yourself open to bingoing. So I would try to keep the ing.
Is there a nice is there a hook he could set up maybe or
He's just going full defense. He goes Emong, which does not take the S. I would be really tempted here to you could just play Omen and score 25 and keep EGI. There are a lot of ends. There actually most of the ends are gone, so
now if he plays Emong, would that actually block all of just because
surely not.
blocks sidecars at the bottom as well. Be the play of the century.
I'm aghast.
I mean, as a former defensive person, like I love it. Let's see, does
That is outrageous.
did it
Has he
did
really
he
done
do
that?
it?
And if you can tell the look of perturbation on Jeff's
Yeah.
face.
Oh my goodness. It's like he's looking at his rack.
Is this part of why you
Oh,
like?
Cardi still fits. Okay. No, yeah, no, I
Okay.
didn't look far enough over. Okay.
Is this part of why you like playing defense, Conrad? Is it like the the fear you instill in your opponents?
I mean, I definitely like when I was younger. Yes, absolutely. It was a way of like matching my like neurodivergence and anxiety to like how I could best show up in a game and like, oh no, Imanj. So Dave,
There's something very close to that. But
well, the plural of Imong is well, it's not a plural. It's not a noun, but Imanges is good.
right, Emongs, and it's some kind of
Oh,
archaic.
so
Oh
that's
man,
a,
that
that's an
hurts.
insta challenge, and unfortunately,
Well, Cardi's also played
Cardi's
underneath,
yeah,
making
did
Ned,
yeah,
Ami, Tone. I mean, that's
yeah,
an 80 point and tripling the C.
yeah,
And now Matt has perfect knowledge
yeah. No,
of Jeff's rack, and he can just block it.
yeah. I mean,
Brutal swing.
I think like this is no, the reason like why I would always tell people why I played defensive boards or like what it takes to be really good at them is the benefit or hard part of them is oftentimes the difference between the best play and the second best play, or the cost of making a mistake is higher on a closed board than an open board because you have fewer options. So if you believe that you are going to make more best plays than your opponent over time, you have no reason not to play a closed board. And so if someone's not used to that, like Jeff, he's just more likely to do something like hook an E on something or whatever. And I think kind of like this was an example of that style playing to his advantage, essentially.
Yeah, does this vindicate Matt's efforts to keep things super tight the whole I mean, if there's one thing he's done this game is clearly to keep things as
Yeah.
tight as possible and strip a lot of volatility with things like figs, not even leaving the S hook open. And I mean, the time he did turn on the volatility with Turtle, it paid off for him. But
Yeah.
yeah, I totally see your point. I think people, it depends on the community, right? It's
Yeah.
like in Nigeria, famously,
Yeah.
it's an entire country of players who play very defensively, with
Yeah.
a ton of strategic acumen. And
Which I love.
yeah, it's as I said before, it's beautiful that there's so many different styles
Yeah.
that can be played at a high level. So yeah, I think situationally, recognizing your opponent, there are definitely players who I play very defensively
Yeah.
against. I'm not gonna name them by name here, but they're
I'm probably
yeah.
not one of them.
No, not at all.
Uh, um, no, I will say like I appreciate like um I always kind of think of like in basketball, like committing to your shot or like committing to your line. Like I kind of appreciate a player like Emong that he did that. Like he could have just been like,
Right.
well, it might just be simpler to like just make a play that opens some like Omen, which seemed like a perfectly good play.
Mhm.
Like I appreciate that. He's kind of sticking to the plan.
The playbook, yeah.
Yeah. Like
Trust the process.
yeah, yeah. If you don't need to change tactics, then don't. Because chances are if you change tactics when you don't need to, you could have done something different 3 turns ago. And that inconsistency can just hurt.
Keep throwing the knuckleballs.
Yeah.
Sports references.
Yeah. It's
Um,
working so far. It's working so far.
it's funny how much Matt has run down his clock. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is what I was thinking. He was going to do something like Vane, or I think Vide might have also done the trick, like VIDE making AME. This might be even more restrictive, but he sees the spot on the
Yeah.
board for Cardi's,
Yeah.
which is means a cardigan in some kind of, I think it maybe it's British slang or
Yeah.
Australian or something. But
Yeah.
and the way he's blocking this is oh, that's so cute. He puts D Vane down for the 7 extra points.
Yeah.
Really smart. Especially when you know your opponent doesn't have a blank.
Right.
It's so punishing to just
Yeah.
dig into the bag and flip over extra
Exactly.
tiles. I love this decision by
Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah. It's a pretty like even with Jeff's good tiles, like they went through a bunch of crap early on. There's a bunch of good letters remaining. So it's not a bad bag to be going into. I think
And the board is so tight for Geoff in the
Right.
short turn. It's
Right.
really painful.
he's almost like he's forcing Geoff to. I mean, I don't know. I see Sid, CID, IF, and DOF setting up like the A as being
Yeah.
pretty clear opportunity here.
But it's still a gamble, right? He
still
has
a
to roll
gamble,
the
yeah.
dice and draw into a bingo.
Yeah.
And it could be several turns. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wonder if Matt considered like the comeback play, and like maybe he wanted more shots at an A, because that's. I mean, it's always been a hard thing for me is the like having perfect knowledge of your opponent's rack, trying to figure out what they're gonna play. And there is something to be said for like the DE, like amid and tone, like yeah, those seem like a great thing. But if you think your opponent is gonna play there, then it doesn't really matter. So maybe he's like, well, I think that Geoff is gonna play CID after this, but I have to block Hardy's. So therefore, I want to maximize my chances at drawing an A. I don't know if that's what went through Matthew's mind. I don't know if I may be too washed to do that over a board, but when I'm sitting here with no pressure, that's kind of like where my mind goes to for how I would.
Well, that's what always struck me as one of your skills, Conrad, is in these closed boards. I feel like you always have a good understanding of what is my opponent going to try to do to open things,
Yeah.
and how do I thwart that in advance.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Matt has already looked at that Sid if DOF spot and said, "You're next on my hit list. I'm blocking you next."
Yeah. Because if you think about it, right, like if Geoff if he plays that and 20 points, he's only down 32 on a closed board. Well, then Matt plays wine for 30 or whatever, and then Geoff bingos, and now Matt's down 20 and it's his turn
Right.
on a closed board. And that, again, that's why it's so risky to like be super closed, or it's the downside of being super closed early on. Like he all of a sudden is
Right. You sacrifice too much, and you
exactly.
don't really limit the outcomes all that much. That makes sense.
Yeah. So to me, this seems like a absolute like unless I'm missing something, CID seems like the clear play here. Definitely don't blow up your rack in the bottom right.
Worth spending the time that he's spending, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And the bottom right could end up being an essential bingo line for him.
Yeah.
I know it looks difficult, but
he has the DRE. I mean,
that's right. That's all you need. Yeah, it's not super easy, but I do think that part of the way you come back in this scenario is by keeping not necessarily probable, but at least some optionality for yourself. And that bottom right is going to feature heavily in any hopes he has to get his way back in there.
Yeah.
He could draw to something like Desired. If he can play off CA, or of course Sid, which I agree with.
Yeah.
Is going to play off the D, which is quite important for that spot. Maybe that will even be a reason for him to not play Sid, because he really wants to keep the D.
I think that's one interesting thing. I mean, on any board that is closing, whether it's a closed board game, the whole game or not, is that risk analysis. Like, how risky are those unlikely bingo lanes?
Right.
Like most of the time, Geoff isn't going to have something in the bottom right, but if he does, you're just like instantly cooked.
Yeah, I always think about
it's a interesting exercise.
When he does play at the bottom right. Interesting. That's exactly what we're saying. We're suspicious of.
Well, no, if you're Matt, like that's exactly like if I'm sitting there, I'm like, I want to see Geoff play Erica.
Erica who? No, bad joke.
Erica Moore.
Right.
Both former Chicago. Oh, I know Jeff's now a Chicagoan. Anyway,
Matt plays Rowie instantly. Is it that much better than Wine? Interesting. Playing off the extra. I mean, yeah, I guess play off the extra val and try to draw into the blank. The last blank is sort of the key tile for the rest of this game.
Yeah.
So but it's Geoff pulls it.
Yeah. And again, this is I'm interested to see how Matt handles this, because again, this is what happens on like a true closed board, not to like get on my high horse, but he should be able to see that Erica is going to set up a lane that is brutally hard to block, and Matt is not winning by enough to like block that lane. So
The
he has to
A,
be, yeah, the A and Erica. So
right?
now he just like, you're playing this closed board, but the board is technically no longer closed because there's this unlikely lane that you have to deal with. He's probably happy that, again, Matt being a closed board player. So I'm just trying to give a little bit of insight into how, how that style of play thinks.
Right. So you're searching for the perfect vacuum.
Yeah, yeah, and like
Totally closed. Wow.
yeah, so it's like he could probably see Erica as an option that could come down. It's probably worth it because it blows up Jeff's entire rack, but like now you just got to be a little nervous because that's a real lane.
It's funny that Geoff has vid lined up here. I don't have anything better, but
It's the
if
same idea
it's
as
the same thing as Sid, except he no longer has the A.
it's no longer
Like
the A,
I would
yeah.
almost. This is going to sound crazy. I would almost rather have Sid and AERS than vid and OSU blank.
Yeah, yeah. It's also possible like he may not have seen Sid. It's a harder find with that rack. Vid is just like it's so obvious. Like it's
Not much else to do. Yeah.
Yeah,
For 23 points.
yeah,
And that leaves Geoff continuing to trail. Matt is in this on this closed board with a new emergent opening.
yep,
Not a ton that it seems like he can do about it.
Yeah.
I guess drawing an A would have really helped him, and without doing that, I don't actually know what he's going to do. He's just going to play the QI quickly
yeah,
and get on, and that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. He keeps very strong letters.
yeah. I wonder if you'd ever consider playing MI. No, not quite.
Wow, that a renewed setup that would have been very
If you had two
very
eyes,
tricky.
maybe I don't know, but again, this is the thing, Erica Vid. This to me, this is no longer a closed board.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you have those like that volatility or that I guess volatility, that's when it just gets weird. And as you're gonna see, Geoff has drawn and found a bingo that's gonna score well and kind of open the board in some pretty hectic ways.
Yeah, one of my favorite. I was going to call it a tree, but it is not a tree. He's got saguaro, the
Yeah.
cactus. The blank is in the wrong order,
Oh,
which makes me slightly
Saguaro
nervous.
Day.
I was on the short list,
Yeah.
but yeah, he does switch the blank and the order of the blank and the U, thankfully.
Yeah.
And he gets absolute most out of that bingo spot, triples the G, scores 80 points, and all of a sudden he is in the lead.
Yeah.
And Matt has keeping promising tiles, but I don't know that they actually do anything immediately unless he thinks he can get away with creamiest, most creamy.
Yeah. Well, he will be able to play like Met, MET or whatever on the top right. But again, this is the nice thing about Jeff's play is he's opened two great spots. So he
Right.
should get, in before he draws something terrible, like no vowels or something, but like he should get something down.
It's quite the Houdini move to maneuver his way out. I mean, he was in a terrible spot
Yeah.
after the phony, and yeah, he has found a way back into it. And
But that's I know it's confirmation bias, but like that's why it's really risky. Like the more closed off you make a board earlier on, you just get susceptible to things like
because there's room for setups.
there's room for setups, and you're often making your own like rack sacrifices. So on average, you're
Right.
going to keep a worse leave, and so there's just more opportunities for this to happen. It's risky. Matt's obviously still in the game. This is going to be a close one because despite his first few letters of EENS showing up, he kind of wrapped it up with LUW, which is
Suboptimal.
not ideal. Especially if Matt takes the top right, which I would assume he would.
Yeah, it looks like METE 37 points. Looks pretty appealing here.
Yeah.
So appealing that I don't really see serious alternatives. I guess he could play ME and MI for 20 points on top of the Ein Shi that he just created. And I suppose the reason to do that is just to really maximize your chances of bingoing.
I'm
The
just worried
tool
about the
looks
I'm
good.
worried about the Z.
Yeah, the
The Z in the
Z.
top right is just so bad.
I remember when Z8, I'm just indicating how old I am at this point, but I remember the first tournament where ZA was legal, and the first time I ever got hit with the ZA and Z down to the triple combo for 113 points. It scored so many points, my opponent won a prize, and this was the Dallas Open. There were 120 people, and my opponent got a prize for the highest non-bingo play.
Yeah.
So ever since then, I have learned
Yeah.
the suffering that can happen when you leave that Z spot
Yeah.
untouched, which he does. Sure enough, he does. I did call it.
Wow.
And I think he's done this. I think I mean, it's going to make Jeff's life. It's kind of a thread. Wow. It's kind of a thread of this game that Jeff has not been able to capitalize on a lot of these gambles or little openings that Matt has been doing.
Yeah. I mean,
But
it's gonna work out based on that as the ideal draw for Matt. Yeah.
I think that's why he's done it, right? Yeah, his handling of risk here has been super interesting, but I think he's
Yeah.
just really decided that the thing he can do to differentiate himself the most is just to bingo and to do whatever it takes to make the bingo happen. CIS, I mean, if you draw AO to CIS, that's a pretty bad combo, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It would kind of have turned into a foot race where Jeff would have had a head start, and instead Matt decides, no, the rest of this game is going to be a bingo race, and I am going to have the advantage.
Yeah. It just sucks to be in the position to decide to be in a bingo race after literally playing the whole game of trying to avoid that exact situation.
But the funny thing
I
is, it's paid off for him each
Yeah.
time that he's done it. He did
Yeah.
turtle to open
Yeah.
things up, and it was immediately
Yeah.
rewarded for it. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to use this as a pretext for saying that open boards are better, but it speaks to, I mean, he at least had enough flexibility to change from the default pattern
Yeah.
at the right moments and and he's gotten amply rewarded for it.
Yeah. No, I empathize with the position he's in, whether he had drawn Associate just now or he had drawn something terrible. Like I definitely I empathize with the sitch. But now if you're Jeff, this isn't really I guess you're both kind of committing to the bingo showdown, right? I mean, Jeff doesn't have any big big plays to the top right, so
Right. I mean,
you can't play news like that's you can't do that.
I almost wonder, do you Zen takes S in the world lexicon? Do you I almost want to just play all of my letters except for ENS, and then because
Yeah.
after me, your opponent never has the Z there because you
Yeah.
always would have played it, right? So I almost want him to spend as much as possible on to like gamble on being able to draw the Z.
Yeah.
News to me just feels like a real
It's you're gonna lose the game. Whenever your opponent has a bingo to the top left, which after ME is entirely possible because they're signaling they have a good rack, game over. And you just can't do that. Can't put yourself in that.
And
situation.
he's actually drawn the Z.
has
And
drawn
just
the Z,
imagine, just imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, Sochid and Saguaros was going to come down. So in this particular universe, he was in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
But just imagine,
and
he
Matthew
doesn't have a bingo.
And Matthew has no vowels.
Right.
So maybe Jeff can pull something out crazy here down 50 if there's some crazy out in two, but just imagine if imagine if he hadn't played news. I mean, obviously Matt might have played Saguaros and Sochid.
And Sochid, as it happens, Matt
Yeah.
has just about the best rack he can possibly have there. But
Jeff could also have some big play. I think there are probably some unseen big huge Z plays in the top.
Yeah, so let's lock into. We are in the world where news has gone down. Let's try to lock in and see if there's any. This could actually be a really tight end game, but it's probably going to involve some kind of a setup or really figuring out how to get the most out of the Z.
It seems like there should be. There's got to be something interesting here, right? Like it's it's just 50 points.
Just 50 points,
is there a
and you get to win.
There's no LE. I would say LEW setting up ALEW, but Matthew has blue.
I'm wondering something like he has a tone and ah, and then if you can just get the Z down somewhere else for lulls or something. You could do
Oh, what about CHE? Setting up Shay and lulls?
Yeah,
Our
that's
favorite,
good. CHE, but pretty blockable
Is it?
because you can just play through the E across.
But he plays ZA right next to it. Right underneath. ZA saving.
You could put the R there.
Oh, blurt. No, yeah, blurt. Okay, sorry. I'm just saying a bunch of stuff out loud. Yeah.
No, yeah. What do you do?
Yeah, he is going for.
Yeah, very nice.
But
I guess he's setting up Haze 67.
Yeah, that could be. That could, because I mean, obviously Matthew can block with.
You can do blue here.
So we called out the Alu setup as the first thing.
But he's still going to get Bez. And then one more big play, and it could be enough. He could do a tone, ah.
Yeah.
The thing about blocking blue here, well, I think he has to blue. The thing about it is it still leaves him. Did the L fall off the rack on it? No, okay.
No, it's on the far.
He's still going to have 5 letters.
That's the
it's
thing.
not super easy to play through that.
Yeah.
So you can do blue. The question is, do you?
Oh yeah, lewd. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I mean,
lewd is lewd significantly better, but still.
Interestingly, still
CHE.
the CHE is still there.
Is still there. Yeah.
But I don't think it'll work anymore because it gives Matthew blurt. So I think the idea was if
but he has to find blurt. It's not super easy. BLE.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, I mean, he just needs any out into at that point. So he'd have BHEL and WRT or whatever. The thing about doing Shay first
is nice.
Yeah. The thing about doing Shay first is that I don't know if Matt has an out into.
Interesting. Still got time, so you hope he's gonna try to use it. They both have time, in fact.
So lewd was the only winning play.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, it makes sense.
Thus far, I mean, maybe I don't know. Quackle doesn't always solve all these weird ones. Quackle thought Lou was a winning play, so go figure.
Too bad that Alami, like the plural, the Alamo, the Italian plural, that would really help him here.
So it does turn out that there was a winning play.
No.
Yeah. There's just a straight up out and 2.
What is it?
A hull. So Noah had asked about Allah, and I'm like, well, no, but there's a hull. I didn't. I just, I'm having Quackle do the math for me, but yeah, a hull, a tone, and hen is 100% win.
Wow. I mean, Lou looks so promising. I totally see why he went for that.
He could have missed the we didn't even think about the D.
Right.
Like I just didn't even. Honestly.
The D is essential there.
Yeah. But it does look like. Yeah, everything, all roads point to a hull. I mean, I can.
Wow.
I'll try Che out here and see if. Yeah, birth when.
What if he plays Naz now, Naze, and then he just puts down the A. Through Saguaro.
Because like says in the top left.
Sorry. No, I'm saying right now. What?
Right
What
now.
if he plays NAZE and he just sets up another Z play?
Winning play.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's brutal, right? Because the
sorry.
AH.
I didn't put in. Sorry, I didn't put in Lou. Still, I mean, I think it's gonna be. Yeah, names. Oh, it doesn't show up, so let's find out. Worth wins. Oh, 'cause you can
too
still
easy.
work.
Yeah. Okay.
Still block. We are just in Quackle looking up potential ways that Geoff could have snuck away with the game.
I mean, he goes Zaya there. It doesn't really threaten that much. I don't know what HLU is going to do, but
Yeah,
looks like that was
it's
the
just
best he could do
I
with
think
his
it's just
time.
an out into Hulk and Shul, I think, and Hula.
That's right.
Throwing in
Yeah.
the towel.
Remember what we said about trying to get out first, so at least Geoff guarantees that.
Yeah.
And if Matt sabotages himself with a fake word or something,
Yeah.
then he will be able to steal the win there.
Yeah. Let's see. Quackle had said that says first could also win, but nope, that's wrong as well. So, yep, it looks like this was like a perfect whatever it is. It seems like there was exactly one winning play.
Save it for the puzzle library for sure.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah. Well, I am as this watching the stream myself, I am getting an ad break right now. So love to see it. Clearly I should be subbing to Austin's channel, but I just haven't been on Twitch that much lately. So many people are moving over to YouTube, of the streamers that I watch at least. But wow, this was a fun game. Definitely the kind that I love to be a part of. So it's been fun to watch someone who's really committed themselves to that style of play.
You can see Geoff looking a little rueful here because he definitely knows that he had ample chances, or that he got real close on this one, and he gave it a good fight. It's we criticized News, but he actually still had a win at the end of it. So maybe there was more there than it did score in the 30s and keep him somewhat level to you give him a chance in a disaster scenario. So
I just kind of thought that like over time he was more likely to have other like more winning plays. Oh, Jules. More winning opportunities overall. Like news left him like less flexibility. He kind of needs the Z in the worst case. But I mean, like I don't know.
yeah, that's where my mind was as well.
Yeah. But kind of fun to see see how it kind of like came up. Lulz almost came up again. Anyway, I think the game's over, so we're gonna go to the live mic. We'll hear what folks have to say.
Let's see what Matt says.
Okay, so I play ZE in a hall somewhere.
Yeah, I mean,
My God, he already spotted it.
like maze. Pretty sure my best play is like hid.
Well, it happens.
Yeah, it was a tough game.
Imanjez,
Yeah,
yeah,
whatever.
Cardi's.
Yeah,
I
I
overlooked
saw
that.
that.
So yeah, I mean that's c'est la vie.
Yeah,
Yeah, I always play like garbage on stream anyway.
What?
I always play like garbage on stream anyway.
Not true, Geoff.
Not true. Made a admirable effort, especially if it seems like he saw when we cut in right then. It sounded like he saw the one win, or maybe Matt had seen it. I'm not sure. Someone saw it. Anyway,
I think that was Geoff.
Yeah. So that brings us to the end of the first morning of games. Honestly, 3 really good ones and one. Well, it was a game. You missed that one, so lucky you. But
Nice.
we are going to be back in a little bit. If I had to guess, probably 2 p.m. Central Time, probably. But oh, There's going to be a school Scrabble lunch game. Well, there you go.
Ooh.
I didn't know that. I'm going to need someone to get me my muffaletta from Rouse's then, y'all. Okay, great. Cool. Cool. Well,
I would still like a muffaletta.
yeah. We're going to have muffalettas for lunch, you know?
Extra tapenade.
Yeah. Anyway.
Dave, are you 4-0? Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to get an informal standings check. So yeah, it looks like Josh Sokol, who we saw earlier, maybe the only 4-0.
Wow.
So yeah, come back after lunch and we'll have more. Come back, stay during lunch.
Yeah,
for the school
stay
Scrabble.
during lunch. We will come back after lunch.
Come back after lunch for the
For
WoW
some-
action.
Wow. You guys are gonna hate me by the end of today. But
WoW
it
counter
is-
is at 10+.
Yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, we're gonna go to a short break. Austin will be with you pretty soon for our little lunchtime interlude, and we'll see you back after lunch here from New Orleans, Louisiana.
Hasta luego.